teacher who is going to teach our students. Because, back to my point, familiarity instruction. The 844 system lacks, or the CBE, or the Competency-Based Education, lacks the familiarity and the structure. The people who are going to partake it, they are not yet familiar with it. How are we going to explain to our learners that this is something that you are going to learn? This is something, Mr. Speaker, let's be realistic. We only know that what has already happened in Mecca, and not everywhere. They ended with the Jewish. I'm not a Jewish prophet, not related to one. So, back to my point. The people who are going to protect this system, they are not really familiar with it. Look at the structure. This is something that did not even take the minimal and the maximal time that was needed. You see, this system was taken within 6 months. Mr. Speaker, let's be honest with each other. 6 months. When I was in campus back then, 6 months, that's only one semester to come, 80 units. But how are you going to tell me that it's going to take 6 months to teach someone something that's complex that's going to take over our education system? How? Honestly, for goodness sake. Back to the structure. A learner. Mr. Speaker, I know you are very familiar with this. You have a very good degree that took, or rather you're going to teach one something or maybe a political something. And you want a learner from 6 subjects or 5 that is based on the 844 system to 14 subjects. How is it possible, Mr. Speaker? So, I support the House that. Thank you.
I hereby confidently stand to oppose the motion that says this House will suspend the CBC and temporarily reinstate the 844 system until Kenya establish the necessary infrastructure, teachers' capacity, and institutional readiness for effective CBC implementation. Like I ask, when has a nation ever become readily moving backward? Mr. Speaker, here is my point. We left 844 for a reason. 844 system focused too much on exams. This leads to students memorize not just to pass exam. Mr. Speaker, it produced learners who could pass tests but struggle with innovation and practical problem solving. Mr. Speaker, here is my second point. Reforms is a process, not an event. Yes, CBC has infrastructure gaps. Yes, teachers' training needs strengthened. But was 844 perfect when introduced? Mr. Speaker, reforms must involve. If we suspend CBC now, we waste public funds already invested. We create policy confusion. Mr. Speaker, education requires consistency, not constant reversal. My third point is that
we found that it's very easy for the private sectors to pick this system of education as compared to the public institutions. This is because CBE deserves a lot. We are having it needs a lot to be implemented or to make it. problem with public institutions. They are not having these things. While in private sectors, they have it inadequate. This is because they liaise with the parents to buy them. But for the public, we have people who are from marginalized areas and they don't have even the money to pay school fees. They are liking those money to pay school fees and they are being asked to buy those devices to use. My second point, Mr. Speaker, we are having.
Anyone from the opposite side who can challenge that point? Yes.
Number one, what you should understand is that in whatever that is supposed to be implemented, or in anything that should be happening or should be taking place, always has a cost. Is it? Now, talking about CBE, you think that CBE is competency-based education. What does it entail? It has competency when it comes to studies. How many schools have gadgets? How many are they? How many schools have teachers who are skilled in such kind of things? Very less.
Where are you going from the opposite side? Viewpoint. So get that to the
Mr. Speaker, sir, eminent judges, is nobody mind convening this Aula forum. I'd like to present my point, Mr. Speaker, as a competency-based scholar and speaker. Imagine a child standing at the edge of a new door, a child, and in this case children. Behind them, there is a very long, dusty road called 844. In this road, we have cramped notes. In this road, we have papers stamped the examination marked in red. In this dusty road, we have sleepless nights that are necessary. In this dusty road, we have teachers who rush to finish the syllabus instead of sharing relevant workable information. Mr. Speaker, before these children who are in this dusty road comes a bridge that links life to the future. And that bridge is called CBC. And this bridge might be termed to be imperfect. The same bridge might be termed to be unfinished, but it leads to a different future. A future whereby people might term it to be unworkable. Yeah? Let me say to all of us that it's okay. And yeah, it's true that this bridge might be imperfect, but let us stand back and view this whole thing in this case. Honorable members, I want to share that for
that we are what we call the proven track record. What has CBE brought to the table? Honorable members, all of us as we are here today, I guess we are products of the 844 system. And what we are saying that is going to be, we are not talking about fiction. We are talking about what is actual, what is real, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members talking about dusty roads. Those dust roads, I want to acknowledge or rather tell honorable members, those dust roads are the roads that make we are today. But now, what are you telling me, Mr. Speaker? There are students going to bring a chicken for the teachers to eat. Is that a track record? Something that is going for a wet.
And let me make this clear that this is a toddler that is growing into an adult. In as much as it is a toddler, you can't expect a young one to work. You must give food. You must give support. You must also take your time to nurture a toddler to become an adult so that he can deliver, he, she can deliver. This is a toddler, we want to embrace it. Honorable member.
Okay, you can have your seat, and I think we should start questioning about the track record of CBC because we have not yet experienced the products of CBC. So we cannot debate about track record of CBC. And you going from the proposal side.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members for this opportunity. I'm Nicholas Yagon. I'm going to handle the points here, supporting the motion that the CBC competency-based curriculum should be temporarily stopped. One point is the university preparedness. My point is that all of our universities are not prepared to undertake this curriculum. We have the lecturers who have trained for years, but they are trained under the 844 system. How will they handle this curriculum? They are not well conversant with it, and they are not well trained to handle even learners for this course. Hallelujah. Another point is that there is teacher and preparedness. You find that even in school, we teachers ask themselves, what do we do about this? How do we go about it? I don't understand. How do I assess? Why? They are not prepared. They have been trained under the 844 system, and they are meant to train learners under the CBC curriculum. How will that be? You have trained a teacher or you have trained an athlete to throw javelin and you want him to run. Can it afford? Definitely no. So we need to prepare the teachers and the universities. What they are saying.
Okay, I will do that. Can you respond to Nicholas?
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I will withdraw. Mr. Speaker, the Honorable has just said that the CDC has brought a lot of politicians. Let me ask, what if we suspend this CDC? What would happen to those in grade 7 to 9? What would happen to teachers trained in CBC, especially you?
Point of order, Mr. Speaker. Honorable member, Mr. Speaker, you have given the chance to honorable member to challenge, not to propose. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable Bitonga, the point that Nicholas to go about university preparedness. How prepared is the university to tackle this CBC curriculum? Teach the CBC students. And he also gave another point about a clear framework governing the CBC curriculum. So that is what you should be challenging and to not
Mr. Speaker, what I wanted to bring up is the Honorable, I want to challenge him. That he is a teacher and a teacher in CBC.
On a point of order, Mr. Speaker. Why is the honorable member referring me to a teacher? Who told you I'm a teacher? Who told you I'm a teacher? You have my credentials. That's a privacy.
Order.
House. This is our house. In our house, we embrace each other as honorables. And we're not sure whether the honorable is a teacher
Honorable
or an
Speaker,
engineer.
may you withdraw that statement because I'm angry. May you withdraw. Honorable member will withdraw.
Shares we are challenging what Honorable Nicholas has said. We will not debate from that point.
training is ongoing. Who does not know that the training system is ongoing? And improvement, training is ongoing and improves with practice. And also, teachers adapt best when actively implementing new methods learned in classes. And suspending CBC increased loss of these skills already gained. So, how exactly will students reach back mainstream? And also, what curriculum will current CBC learners follow? Which one? Is it 844 CBC or will they not be considered? Answer.
The question is something.
To be interrupted without raising your hand.
The way
Mr. Speaker, as per the rules of the House, I feel like you're siding because you've already given Honorable Job the chance and he failed terribly. Again, you're giving him the chance. Listen to the Speaker. That time was supposed to be ours to be suspending points carelessly.
the rules of the House was to state that the speaker's system is high, and the speaker shall bear in meeting with no motion and the president of the House. So you know,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Socrates once said that if we realized our potential, we can't be as wasteful as we are. Or if we are not wasteful, then we can't be as wasteful as we allow ourselves to be. We are talking about the 21st century skills, collaboration, through workable innovation. How will that be evident with 844? I am supporting CBC because it embraces, it gives a platform where the 21st century skills will be adopted very in a workable way and in a realistic way. Thank you. Proceed. What's question? Simon? Why can't we just be realistic? Because we have many youths out there who are unemployed. We have our parents suffering because maybe they went through the same system that is failing us at the moment. Look how many people out there are having degrees, masters maybe, or other PhDs, but they are crying because they are not having sources of income. I'm supporting and I'm requesting the government to truly embrace CBC because it supports talent. We can't fast our future in the name of 844. What has it done? Why is Kenya lagging behind when we are having other nations globally succeeding? Talk of South Africa. Why should we have our own students, our own expensive brains going out there to embrace in other countries' system because ours has failed us? We are only using small and weak examples for those who have extremely struggled and made it through the 844 to use them in the table. Let's embrace a system that will give a platform for all with their abilities, and as we reach, let us embrace our potential.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Moran, I want to challenge you. You're saying we are in the 21st century, right? Why are you referring to the things that happened before Christ uses Socrates? That was 21st. Another thing, you are saying that some people have degrees, masters, PhDs, and they're struggling. Well, let me tell you, don't compare someone's failure to my failure. If he or she failed, does not mean I failed. That is because he or she was lazy. Thank you.
Before you proceed, let me point out that you had allowed us to use the ancient as possible as well as strategic and valid. Because even if it is ancient, like we are debating.
Sinazunguka na chill.
Mr. Speaker, I don't challenge but I still affirm it to my brain.
Withdraw does not have but. Apologies do not have but. So you have to withdraw.
Mr. Speaker, I withdraw. Mr. Speaker, I withdraw identifying him as a weak player. As I was saying, we normally go with a compensation rule that states if we cease to be the people of the world, then we are lost. I am a Christian. I use a Bible, and it's ancient. So him challenging my knowledge, my needs, information that I have worked for was disrespectful. Therefore, I'm requesting Mr. Speaker that he should withdraw. Honorable member,
that point cannot be withdrawn because it neither violates anyone nor does it violate the house.
Mr. Speaker, I am a PhD holder. My academic level should be respected.
Honorable, what is it that you want?
I want him to withdraw. He attacked my Socratic inference, and the Constitution allows that. The Constitution of this House allows that.
Mr. Speaker, we respect personal achievements, and I believe honorable member is now stating that personally I'm a Christian. What about our Muslim brothers, Mr. Speaker? We need to mind our language because we need to respect each other, our religion, and our personality.
You may use whatever reference you chose, you deem fit for yourself, okay? But I may not accept the reference that you have used because I have the divergent views. But it does not mean that I disrespect that. So, Honorable Jaden did not disrespect it. He disagreed with it. And that's what we do in debate. New point from the proposers.
Mr. Speaker, please accept my humble gratitude for this humble opportunity to deliberately propose with the motion of the House. Now, with my solid intelligence, unlike, in quotes, the others, never mentioned them. Now, we should first
Go unlike the others. It's only you and the others in this context.
I never
the
mentioned
others includes even me. So when you say you're solid intelligent and like the others, it means my intelligence is unsolid. So you have to
Iko sawa.
what matters is my decision that you because you have insulted not only the honorable members but even the people from the public. So I request that you withdraw it.
Okay, Mr. Speaker, I withdraw the statement. Now, going on, Azad said that with the solid intelligence, and I believe not to be filled with liquefied intelligence. First, we need to understand when and where is the root of the CDP or the CDC. First, the framework was done, that was 2016, which is up to date, not clear. Second, it was piloted in 2017. Third, in 2019, full nation rollout. And lastly, the first cohort which was introduced into the system was in 2023. And up to date, Mr. Speaker, we do understand that CBE requires a lot. Having CBE in our nation is like walking through a path of thorns without shoes. It is okay that ahead of it we have full achievements, but we are not prepared. It needs time. Talk about the teachers in this school. How many schools are suffering from lack of skilled teachers of CBC? Talking about CBE, as it entails a lot of it, learning a lot of it when it comes to technology. How many schools have computers? How many schools have tablets? Talking about the innovations. The innovations need innovation centers. How many are there in our schools? We don't have it. We need time to prepare, have these things, and then from there we can have the start of it. We can't just have a journey which we don't know where we're heading to, or what we are going to have through the journey. We can't talk about it. Mr. Speaker, I'm deliberately supporting this motion that CBP should be suspended until we get ready as a nation.
We have 1 minute, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. To add on what honorable member said, I want to add on emphasis on core subjects. Mr. Speaker, the CBE curriculum is not emphasizing on core subjects, or rather, it is emphasizing on introduction of new subjects, Mr. Speaker. When I was in high school, Mr. Speaker, I was learning about, let me say, example of SADS when I was in Form 3. But now you want a grade 8 student, Mr. Speaker, to handle SADS. How? And now, the CBE curriculum is not really emphasizing on the core subjects, which are mathematics, English, Swahili, but rather emphasizing on the introduction of new subjects that the learners are not familiar with. Thank you.
Okay, allow someone to the opposite side to challenge what
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I will challenge First Honorable Biko, Steve. My concern is we are not supposed to attack the system of CBC. We are supposed to attack the government, maybe, perchance. Why is the government not providing fair grounds to support CBC? Why is the government not giving enough funds to people who are at a rural area? In Nairobi, honorable member, if you walked there, we have what we call meritocracy. Students are having practical skills, learner-centered. There's a collaboration between a facilitator and a learner. If you visit there, you will be able to know what CBE is. Mr. Speaker, I request to share to him that don't use a practical example from the rurals. Walk in Nairobi, walk in Nakuru, walk in DC. If you don't have money, Mr. Speaker, I'll provide.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Laurent, you see, at the moment, I'll use it in photo. We don't have to squander much energy. Let me pass it to my colleague here. I think he might have a good answer for you. Honorable Speaker,
thank you. Honorable Member, you're referring to a rule. What about my homeland in Kisii village? Or rather, another thing I want to ask or answer you is this. You're saying we should not blame the system, or rather we should blame the government. Why? Should this government bring up something that it is incapable of handling? Why? If we don't blame the system, you say let's not blame the system. We'd rather blame the government. Which brought this system? That's my question to you.
Let me say that, Mr. Speaker, I pass it to honorable members, the two of them, Honorable Biko and Honorable Omenge. We need to have an action that has no timing. Understand that. Number two, let me quote. Someone can have the fastest car in the world, but with faulty brakes. And we have another person who has a car that is average without faulty brakes. Let me bring it home. Good leadership, good competency, a good learning system might not appear to be beautiful. A good learning system might appear ugly to others, but in as much as it comes with multiple strategies, in as much as it comes with what will shape the future, then we will choose it like an average car that has safety and that links people to the future. Not something that runs, that is a disaster to finish life. Mr. Speaker.
Okay. That's point. Anyone who feels like Honorable Nicholas.
I think my fellow colleague has slipped, how can I put it, as well as straight in a way. We are not against the system, but we have said temporarily stop it because of what? The government is willing to support it, but the problem is the resources, the implementation problem. We don't have a clear framework. We have talked about inadequate resources or unequal distribution. If you have given us an example of a school in Nairobi, do you consider children learning in rural areas? There is inequality. So we are not against the system, but we have said temporarily stop it. That's why we support the motion of today.
Mr. Speaker, this is repetition. I say the government should be tagged here. Government, our able leaders, come hand in hand and give us facilities for those who don't have these facilities. Because we've seen in other areas, they have facilities and they are working. And I also say that we are not supposed to have a timing. A timing in this case, postponing or rather suspending. That is the timing I'm talking about. I'm saying we have an action of the government being welcome to take strict and a bigger percentage in helping or rather collaborating with CBE completely for us to have a workable future that supports learners with their abilities.
Just wait. The other posed a question: why did the government implement a curriculum that it cannot sustain?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me say, I come from Kenya, and we have government systems that are failing us. Money is being provided by the World Bank for education. We have scholarships. We have also money that is there from the ministry. There is a quasi-liberal government system that is not utilizing money as it should. And that is where we are experiencing challenges.
A point of order, Mr. Speaker. Please, I would like you to be honorable member. Is he accommodating to what you have asked him to say or to talk? Please. Thank you.
Why? Confined to the question asked, why did the government implement a curriculum that it cannot sustain?
Mr. Speaker, the system is the one that cannot sustain through poor leadership, whereby we are having leaders who are selfish-seeking aliens. They are stealing money, they are looting money that is supposed to promote education. That was my response.
Yes, sir. I want to inform my colleague, honorable member. You are a member of this house, and it if you are to blame the government and you are a member of parliament, how could you say that there are members of parliament are selfish? You have not brought us the bill here challenging the resource allocation so that we can allocate more to the education sector. So consider that you are a member of parliament and you have not brought any bill sponsoring increase of funds for the education sector.
Honorable, okay, I withdraw. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am from the Department of Sanitation and Health in this country. Bwana SG is the one who stands for education. Why are we having some areas in our country where CBC is working very well, and again, in other areas it's not working very well? It's a question.
So at this point, I put a discussion like thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity granted. OECD, Education Minister, supports competency. OECD is an organization that is formed and it is from rich countries like France, Singapore. Every day we hear our president dreaming about a Singapore Kenya. Do you know why he always says that? Because CBC has been implemented in Singapore. So CBC is making Singapore so that into the level that we can admire Singapore. And again, going back to 844 system is like updating your smartphone by installing Nokia 3310 software. Because Nokia 3310 software was strong, was reliable, but it cannot run modern apps. It cannot run modern apps. Same to 844. We are in a world of artificial intelligence and automation. And do we need more memorizers or more innovators? That is the question. And I strongly oppose the motion. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable member, please, with all due respect, we are arguing on the contemporary issues affecting us.
We are going to suspend. We are going to waste the most expensive resource on earth, and that is time. Let us work on what is affecting this whole system.
Allow me to interrupt. Can you clarify the point?
My point, he was asking, okay, I withdraw. Honorable Omega is, I was answering his question.
I have to ensure that you are because you are adding over this point. And it's like you are deviating from the point itself. Okay. What is the point itself?
He talked about the support of a competency from other countries. And Honorable Omenge posed a question.
A point of order, Mr. Speaker. This house answers. How can I ask Honorable Tonga a question? The Honorable will let answers.
I think this house and today's motion has only two sides.
to him. I did not ask the opposite side. I directly him, Honorable John.
Honorable Lorraine, proceed. Point of order.
Honorable Omeni, were you asking a question or you wanted a response specifically from Honorable Gitonga?
I wanted a response from Honorable Gitonga.
Mr. Speaker, then he was supposed to clarify that.
Honorable Gitonga, the stage is yours.
Let me discuss. Asking, are we discussing about Singapore? We should discuss about the CBC. So I introduced the Singapore point because Singapore we are admiring Singapore today as Kenya because the reason behind the Singapore that we are talking about is because of the CBC. That is why the current government, when they got into power and they knew this new regime, they introduced this CBC and they are trying to implement. That is the point.
Your time is out. And can stick to the point that is you got to debate about Singapore. Singapore is not here and it is here.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I stand here to propose that we should still do away with the aid for forces, with the CBC until we are ready. This is because of the implementation instability. Rapid transitions without long-term piloting reflect policy acceleration without administrative stabilization. Education reform must be implemented, not experimental. The question before this House today is not whether CBC is ideologically sound, but whether the implementation has achieved the institutional coherence. When its objectives are commentable, reform defaults from infrastructural readiness. The risk of inequality is still there. So kindly, this is why we are advocating that we are not ready for this, because the implementation has been so quick. Yes, you first implemented this thing, you kept it, then you trying to realign to what it is doing later. That's why we are training teachers now to fit into the system of CBC after the system has been ongoing. If it was to supplement it, we would have had teachers being trained first and all the system ready. Then we pick it when we are ready to implement it and to do it.
So, the Honorable here just said that. Now, these are the questions. Kenyans want to answer. What will happen to students in grade 7 to 9 before we suspend this meeting?
Very debate on the point that has been tabled by
Mr. Speaker, I raise my hand up for a point of information. Because we started by saying the CBC should be suspended. And you Kenyans want questions. What will happen to the billions of money that have been pumped into the system? We want to answer. Before we suspend, we start even thinking about suspending the system.
you are proposing the motion, but you are not challenging.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Maybe if you just do you a favor to answer that question. Honorable Gitonga, talking about the funds from the government, how much does it give? Has it given out? For example, you've been talking about you've been talking about Nairobi, giving it an example. Talking about Singapore, giving it as an example. Talking about teachers being trained for CBE or rather CBE. First, work on the people and get done with them is when you can now teach me. You can't teach me what you don't know. No. Now, okay, there is no problem. Just try to understand whatever I'm trying to insinuate. Now, listen, Honorable Tom, about the findings that the government have done. Let it go on the process as it works on what CBE or rather CBC entails. You don't have a problem with what the government has funded. Let it continue. Let the government continue training teachers until that time when the teachers will be ready, when the infrastructures will be ready, and when the facilities will be ready, then we'll continue the CBC. There is no reason to withdraw the funding. The government can just continue with the funding in order to have a good CBE plan. Are we looking at that point?
Honorable, you are debating on earlier points. You're circulating about points on resources, on implementation, points that have already been debated.
Sir,
he asked
a question of where are the funding, where are the fundings to be taken, which the government have taken. Is it right, Tom? No. What was your question?
My question was, you are saying that we suspend the CBC system.
Yes.
What will happen to the billions of money that have already been pumped into the system?
Now, Mr. Speaker, I think maybe the knowledge differs because I've talked about funding and he's talking about the billions of money. That's different. No. I've said about the funding. When I talk about funding, this counts with financial support from the government. Honorable Itonga, when I say honestly,
beating around the bush. We're not answering the questions that are
what I'm trying to say is maybe what people don't get. Honorable Itonga, the House is to suspend the CDC temporarily, is it? And he asked the question, what is the billions of money that have been used to invest?
At this point, I think I will. If you are new voices on this, and the audience have a question, they will decide.
And suspending the sick will waste years of efforts and rely on us for the future. Instead of restricting benefits, instead of restricting the system, Kenya should just strengthen implementation when moving forward. Not suspending the system. Thank you.
The 1 minute and then we go on the first.
I want to challenge on what was said on the member. We're saying the H4 system and the exam pressure, right?
Yes.
Let's talk about the CBE. Talk about KTSER. Have you thought of how the pressure of the students are having in the examination, in the choosing of the schools? Have you heard of it? Please check that before you
Okay,
Watu wamepata. Naam. Naam.
if you are a question from the market gallery. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, thank you so much. I have been here waiting whether to know I'm here to give only audience or maybe also participate and give my view. Mr. Speaker, when you say CBC is a very big umbrella, but my specific question was on the CBC get there, CBC junior schools, about the teacher capacity that this house was here to give us the resolution of it. Mr. Speaker, what does this house have discussed about on the resolution of teacher capacity and the guarantee of the job on the teacher of junior school? I would wish to know what is the resolution of this house on that matter.
Okay, the question that Taya has posed, most importantly, is autonomy in junior secondary school guaranteed. And this question is directed to the process. Is autonomy in junior secondary school guaranteed? Because as you see the news, as you've done the research into this debate, and you know what's happening in JSS and in the senior school. You see? So you know that JSS are not the kind of educated. So that question goes to others. Is autonomy in JSS guaranteed?
Yes, it is guaranteed because there is an area of specialization learners.
point of information. Mr. Speaker, as the laws and rights of the House, the work of the proposers is if an opposer asks a question, the proposers of the motion are supposed to answer. If asked, is supposed to answer. And what the audience has asked is not the work of the debaters to answer, it's the work of the debaters.
Okay, Honorable, without specifying, maybe you wanted to hear from you, yeah, from the other side, or from the judges, or from the speaker. I don't know. But
Mr. Speaker,
yes,
thank you so much. My point, you know, whenever you are giving your contribution in a floor like this, you directly address the speaker. But my question was directed to those who have debated this matter here. So we really expected the resolution from both of them.
It's up to from both of them, both the proposers and the opposers. Your Honorable Chairman, do you have something to say? Honorable people, you want to respond? Please respond.
Point of information. Now, according to the question, it basically refers to the proposals, because we are not in. Sorry? Because we are not in line with supporting that syndication to continue. Now, he's asking if it's supposed to be continue. Now comes the question, is it guaranteed for the teachers also? I think we should answer that.
We have heard from them and we shouldn't waste time on that because you spoke up and spoke something briefly. I declare the debate on the floor closed, and I would like the judges to tell us what they have.
Judges.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for this opportunity. We've heard from the proposers, we've heard from the opposers, and mine is to single out some of the weaknesses we've identified as the judges this evening. Dear Honorables, you have been revolving around the same arguments, and this has given us some hectic time because there is no introduction of new points. Mostly we've experienced that from the opposers. There is a lot of dwelling in the same points. That is one of the weaknesses you need to identify. We've identified, and you need to correct on that. The next time you guys get to a platform such as this, yeah, you minimize on that and work on it. My fellow judge will talk on the strengths and finally we'll give you the results.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, the chance. For sure, I can say you did your best. Despite the fact that we had some challenges, still there were some strengths among us. One of the weaknesses that the apostles had was some of them acknowledged that CBC has still much problems to be sorted. Imagine an opposer acknowledging the problem. So automatically that one is credit to. So next time when you think that, make sure at least you go against it. One was that it's impact. You can recall there were certain members who said it is impact. So that one is, you are acknowledging that that one is impact. Thank you. About another thing is about, like, some of us proposers and opposers, we have feelings. Let's not put this in feelings. Let's reduce it. Please, is the request. Next time when you're doing this, please reduce it. So here I have the results, both the opposers and the proposers. The opposer sides, you have 7 points, while the proposer sides, they have 9 points. Thank you. So, as it stands in the House, the CBC should be suspended temporarily until the measures are taken. Thank you. Thank you.
Watu wako na issues huko nyuma. I think so you need to hear from the desk.
Awala hajapata kazi. Awala hajapata kazi.
I declare the proposals, the winners of today's debate on the suspension of CBC versus the retention of CBC. Yeah. So the proposals have won. The motion is sustained that this House will suspend the competency-based curriculum and temporarily reinstate the 844 system until Kenya establishes the necessary infrastructure, teacher capacity, and institutional readiness for effective CBC implementation. Yeah. I've been impressed with your arguments, but you need to then come to court if it is still in court. You say that they are real about funding is not in the table in parliament, yet you are not sure of that point. Yeah, you need to have facts and where they have time. So that is something I found very neat in your arguments. If you argue with facts, you argue with yeah. So I don't want to add that much. I'd like to invite the president of the Commerce Executive, and then we will guide the rest. Thank you.
Without protocols observed,